I'm Bo Johnson. There's a report for $1 on jamesbowersjohnson.com that's 50 pages long and describes a conversation between a Yes to Hell with subscriber and ChatGPT. And the essence is that ChatGPT admits to the fundamental truth of the Liberty Dialogues as it relates to jurisdiction. The price of $1 is not about profit. It is an offer for those who want to learn more and are genuinely interested in establishing a fundamental education about jurisdiction. It'll be available to the beginning of the year, and the promotion will be stopped according to my publisher. Now, today I'd like to describe something that's rather interesting. A man sent me a message this morning that he is facing a jury trial because he has no driver's license, no insurance, and no registration. The trial is in 2 days. And like most Americans, he does not understand civics. He does not understand the court system. He does not understand status, jurisdiction, or how the process actually works. What he understands is fear. He feels the weight of the system that does not forgive ignorance and does not slow down for confusion. He knew instinctively that walking into court unprepared could destroy his life. He asked me for help. I told him immediately and clearly that I am not an attorney, that I do not give legal advice, that I do not make promises of acquittal, and I do not offer magic words, secret filings, or talismans disguised as law. What I agreed to do, and I made an exception for him, was something far more important. I agreed to give him an education in the Liberty Dialogues fashion, not to beat the system, as it were, but to stand inside it and without being crushed, not to perform rebellion, but to appear upright, calm, and coherent within a rigid environment that punishes those who do not know how to carry themselves. This is not about cleverness, it's about dignity. Because every day people walk into court like lambs into a den of lions, not because they are wrong, but because they are unprepared and unaware. So instead of arming him with fringe theories, I helped him build structure. Instead of encouraging confrontation, I emphasized composure. Instead of telling him to challenge everything, I showed him when to speak, how to speak, and when silence reflects wisdom. From voir dire to opening statement, from objections to closing, from verdict to notice of appeal, he now has a path forward. Not bravado, not mythology, but a path that is anchored in wisdom and jurisdiction. He knows how to speak to a jury without alienating them. He knows how to address a judge without provoking contempt. He knows how to preserve his rights without declaring war. Most importantly, he understands that good faith is not a slogan, it is a posture. Now that leads me to a hard truth that must be addressed plainly. If a man cannot walk into a courtroom and calmly articulate who he is and what he believes and why he acted in good faith, then he has no business invoking advanced theories that even trained attorneys struggle to explain. Why would someone declare a special appearance if he cannot explain what that means in law? Why would he speak of gold-fringed flags, birth certificates, UCC filings, straw men, or conditional acceptances if he cannot support these claims with authority, evidence, and jurisdictional clarity? Why would he insist that he is not the defendant unless he can withstand immediate and unforgiving scrutiny? Well, of course he wouldn't, unless someone convinced him that slogans are substitutes for understanding. And you see, that is the tragedy. Most Americans cannot articulate who they are in an ordinary conversation, much less who they are within a legal system that is merciless toward error. People cry foul, people lash out, they alienate the judge, and they confuse the jury. And then they lose, not on the merits, but on posture. I know this because I lived it. I listened to gurus. I trusted voices that promised silver bullets, and I paid the price. That is why I say this plainly now. Strip away the edge in the voice, strip away the anger, strip away the theatrics, strip away the fantasy. Rely on basics of understanding. Prepare instead for effectiveness within rules that actually exist. Because only when a man truly understands himself, his status, his jurisdiction, his obligations, and the process as it is enforced, only then is he equipped to pursue real solutions. The man facing trial now has a civics education in his possession. He has what he needs from voir dire to appeal, and from every scenario in between, not because he was taught how to fight, but because he was taught how to stand. And standing, calm, informed, and dignified, is the beginning of the restoration of freedom. There are other avenues that lead to solutions. I am convinced of this. But at what cost before even knowing the basics? Equal to learning to crawl and then to walk and run, man must have perspective, balance, and skills. He must have a knowledge and understanding. He must speak from wisdom. Those solutions that are actually real beyond what this man now understands are much appreciated by those who have the knowledge they need. They have the experience if they've tested it in the den of lions. They have the wisdom that most of us do not have. So let us drink milk before devouring meat. Let us understand jurisdiction. Let us understand what the Liberty Dialogues offer. And what this series offers is what most Americans need desperately. Let us understand jurisdiction. Let us understand what ChatGPT agrees that is the truth within the Liberty Dialogues. And as always, may truth reign supreme.